Hello everyone and welcome to this week's edition of Reino de las Mascaras, the Kingdom of the Masks. I am your host as always, ReyDeMascaras, and before I get started, I just want to say thank you to everyone who contributed questions, who viewed, liked, commented on last week's absolute mega episode. I did not think we were going to go a half an hour. We went a half an hour. So I'm glad to see everyone enjoyed it. Everyone had fun watching it, had fun posing the questions. So that's awesome. I don't think I'm going to have an episode that long, probably in a very long time. So hope everyone enjoyed it. And we've got a pretty interesting next couple of weeks coming up here. Next week, I got a busy weekend. I will be down in Fargo for Time Bomb Pro Wrestling. And then right back up here to home for Destination Pro Wrestling Saturday night. So the wife and I do set up for Destination Pro. So it's going to be an action-packed weekend, to say the least. And great card for both events. Both events are going to be awesome. You can look for Time Bomb Pro up on YouTube. It's usually like a couple of weeks after the event. Main event, Jordan, Brian Keith, Time Bomb Pro Championship. This will be the third time these two have met in Time Bomb. Brian Keith took the first one. The second one was a little controversial as it ended in a no contest due to some outside interference. So looking forward to that one big time. Filthy Tom Lawler is going to be in town. Paul London's going to be in town. If you are in Fargo, if you're in the general vicinity, get up there, get it and check it out. Time remains. Still some general admission left. So all ringside seating is sold out, but you can definitely get into the door at the very least. On top of that, Destination Pro next Saturday, Thief River Falls. Tickets are available at the door, or you can reach out to them directly and buy your tickets. Either way, it's going to be a great event. Both nights. Going to be some awesome stuff. And hot off the presses here as I went to record here. Well, I shouldn't say that. It was a little while ago. But Aramis is coming back to First Wrestling for WrestlePalooza the weekend of January 13th and 14th. 2 days of WrestlePalooza. I believe Aramis will be there Saturday night. I don't know for sure on Sunday. Hard to say, but for sure, you want to see some lucha, Saturday night's going to be your night. That is down in Minneapolis at the world-famous First Avenue. You be there. I'll be there. What kind of masks will I walk out with? That remains to be seen, doesn't it? So, with the quote-unquote housekeeping out of the way, I'm going to talk about a very special mask to me this week. And it's special for a myriad of reasons, and we'll obviously get into it. So this is the mask that I'm referring to. And yes, I will answer the question. This is most definitely a Rey Mysterio Jr. fan grade mask. Now, this one is one of those that it just has a really awesome story behind it, and that's why it holds such a near and dear place in my heart. So I want to say it was August. Damaged Goods, Time Bomb Pro. We were down in Fargo, my wife and I. And my sister-in-law works and lives in Fargo, North Dakota. And her husband went on their honeymoon earlier this year. They got married, and we asked her if she wanted to come up and say hello, get a good chance to, see each other, because, there's a good 120 miles between us now, between everyone now. So, we threw out the invite, said, hey, you want to come up, have a drink, meet everyone type of thing. So she comes in, and she had gotten the wife and I souvenirs on their cruise. So she reaches into her bag and gives my wife her gift, and then she says, and this one's for you. And she reaches this out and hands it to me, and I'm speechless. I am like, I'm absolutely flabbergasted. I believe I said, holy wow. And I was just floored. I was just floored. I was looking over this. I'm like, this is the coolest, this is one of the coolest things I've ever gotten in terms of, a gift from a vacation like this. So it really floored me. I was speechless. And it was kind of funny. One of the wrestlers kind of walked up. I think he could tell I was a little speechless. He goes, "That's a kick-ass gift if it's, for someone who doesn't watch, wrestling." I said, you're damn right it is. That's how flabbergasted I was. I couldn't say much else. And she looks at me, she goes, "Wait, is that somebody?" I said, "Yeah, it's Rey Mysterio Jr. He's on WWE, probably one of the most famous luchadors in modern history." And she goes, "I just thought it looked cool. I like the cross piece. I know you like crosses, so I just thought it was a really cool looking piece." But that's I said, "Yeah." I kind of explained to her again who he is, and she was like, "I feel pretty good." I said, "You should." So, this is one of those masks that, I am never going to get rid of. I've only gotten rid of one now for sure. And that's because, I got a signed ring worn piece, and the mask in question is a semi-pro. So I was like, oh, if I've got the same one just in a ring worn, I should, see if anyone else is interested in it. So that's really the only one I've ever gotten rid of to date. And this one is like definitely on the no-go list for that. This is going to remain in my collection forever. Absolutely forever. The fact that, she looked at it and said, "Oh, that looks really cool. He would really like this." And, not know much beyond that. It just, I've always had better feelings in giving gifts than receiving. It's just weird. I don't know. My wife's going to watch this and she's going to say, "Well, that's because you were an only child and got everything you wanted, this, that, and the other thing." I know. I was spoiled rotten. But as I've grown older, I've always enjoyed giving more than I've enjoyed receiving. So, dirty minds, I can see your dirty minds thinking, people. Knock that off. Family show here. But anyway, I've always kind of been that way since I've grown into adulthood. But this is just the coolest. I keep this right close to me. It's on a shelf to my lower left here. Always right here when I'm filming. Right along with this one here that I'll talk about, very similar. And kind of a similar story. My parents got me this one when they were on vacation in San Francisco. One of the first masks that I ever got. So this is just, these are two masks that are gonna, forever hold special places with me here. So, but yeah, it's not much else to say about it. I've never put it on. I think I did put it on very briefly. It's one of those that I'm not going to wear very much. It's going to sit up here. It's going to remind me of the value that family brings. And that's exactly what it is. It's just this cool reminder of a very cool experience of how loving my sister-in-law is. But yeah, it's got its own place right here. But I mean, just, it's your standard fan grade mask, but the thought behind it, again, that she thought enough of me and, looked at this and said, "Oh, this is really cool. I bet he would like it." And, oh yeah, I absolutely love it. It's so damn cool. That's all I can really say. It's always going to have a special place in my collection. I'm always going to cherish that. So that is this week's episode. We're clocking in right around the 10-minute mark, right about where we usually do our show here. So as always, like, comment, subscribe. Got a big couple of episodes coming up here. I'm going to try and find time sometime next week between the Time Bomb and the Destination Pro Madness to film episode 52, celebrating a full year of doing this each and every week. And then with that, we're going to start rounding out the year, and toward the end of the year, probably either the week after next or the week between Christmas and New Year, I will do my year in review. I'm going to take the 10 of my top favorite masks that I bought this year. Yeah, I bought more than 10, so I've got to narrow it down, and part of that's going to be really easy. Part of it's going to be probably pretty tough because I've got, this year I finally got to see live Lucha Libre, thanks to First Wrestling and Time Bomb Pro, and I got masks from those nights. So, those are like super easy, definitely putting those on, and then it's narrowing down the others that I bought. I can count a few of the replica masks that I bought, but for the most part, it's all been ring-worn, official, signed, those sorts of things. So, yeah, it's gonna be a tough call, to say the least. So, looking forward to that, though. I think it'll be a fun episode. So, with that said, thank you as always for joining me, and we'll see everyone next week. As always, live, laugh, love, and Lucha Libre. We'll see you.